Well, I know some people out there said that the demand to see Caitlin Clark was not going to be what it was last year, right?
When they claimed that Caitlin Clark's fame was only a passing fad, 4,400 tickets that sold out in 30 minutes tell a totally different tale. You would be thinking that these are regular season games or playoffs, but no, these are preseason tickets. 15,000 seats were sold out before the general public could even click buy. The figures don't lie, and the detractors are in complete disarray at the moment, while other WNBA stars can hardly fill 4,000-seat beauties.
But it doesn't seem like that situation has done a damn thing for her popularity at all. All right, because tickets went on sale for the preseason game against the Brazilian national team at Carver Hawkeye Arena. They sold out in 45 minutes, folks.
Remember how the experts predicted that Caitlin Clark's fame would wane and that the excitement around her would only continue temporarily? Well, what transpired last Thursday totally upended that theory in the most spectacular manner imaginable.
Tickets for the Indiana Fever game Carver Hawkeye Arena sold out in, oh, wait a minute, it's been updated. Half an hour on Thursday before the general public got a chance to get their hands on them.
Let's examine what transpired at precisely 9 a.m. when tickets for the Indiana Fever versus Brazilian national team preseason game at Carver Hawkeye Arena went on sale. By 9:36 a.m., the virtual ticket booths were open. Only 36 minutes later, all 15,000 tickets had been claimed, disappearing in less time than it takes to watch one basketball quarter.
The Indiana Fever will take on the Brazilian national team for the exhibition game at Caitlin Clark's old stomping grounds. Pre-sale tickets went on sale at 9 a.m. Thursday. By 9:36, the game was sold out, according to a spokesperson for Iowa's women's basketball team.
But here's the worst part. The entire arena was cleared out during the special pre-sale period, and only elite donors and season ticket holders. We're talking about the iClub level donors and Iowa women's basketball season ticket holders, the most connected fans with special access privileges, were able to purchase any of these tickets.
A total of 15,000 tickets were sold. Pre-sale tickets were only available to Kinnick Society Gold and iClub level donors and Iowa women's basketball season ticket holders.
Consider this for a moment. 15,000 people fought for those tickets like they were the last lifeboat on the Titanic. But this wasn't the kind of frenzy you'd expect from a championship or playoff matchup. Rather, it was a preseason warm-up game where teams are still figuring out rotations and players are just getting into rhythm.
I would say there were 15,000 tickets. Obviously, I think Iowa season ticket holders got first dibs, which is right if they did. And then you're looking at a situation where basically no Fever fans got them. It's a preseason game. This is a preseason game, and it's sold out in about 10 seconds. Like, there was a 10% chance if you tried to buy them, you could get them, which is mad.
And if you think that's ridiculous, wait until you see what happened next. The fortunate few who were able to get tickets realized right once that they had gold, pure gold, and they appeared on the resale market faster than a Caitlin Clark Transition 3, with prices that are simply astounding.
All right, so $557 is the lowest one available through Vivid Seats. Ticket City, all right? Ticket City, I sorted this by lowest to start. $617.
Right now, the cheapest seats for this pre-season spectacle, not even a regular season game, start at $557, which is more than some NBA playoff tickets. However, if you want the premium seats and the courtside experience, where you might get a close-up look at Clark's iconic no-look passes, you'd better have an extra $4,500 lying around, because that's what those tickets are selling for.
The highest one, also sideline B, $4,457. Damn. That's crazy. So we got two places. So anywhere from $557 to 40, basically, let's just call it $4,500 to $4,500 for a preseason game.
Right now, the cheapest seats for this preseason spectacle, not even a regular season game, start at $557, which is more than some NBA playoff tickets. However, if you want the premium seats and the courtside experience, where you might get a close-up look at Clark's iconic no-look passes, you'd better have an extra $4,500 lying around, because that's what those tickets are selling for.
You know, a lot of people are saying they need to move this to a stadium because there's no doubt in Iowa, if you move this to a stadium, it would be sold out.
Fans are willing to pay more than many people on their monthly mortgage simply to be in the Bill practice game, which is so unprecedented that it's forcing us to reevaluate everything that we knew about the economics of women's basketball.
Pretty crazy that it sold out in like just over 30 minutes, not even to the general public, kind of like her Wilson basketball selling out before it was announced to the general public. Everything Caitlin Clark touches turns to gold.
Have you ever noticed what happens when a rock star is dropped into an independent coffee shop? That's essentially what Caitlin Clark is doing to the WNBA at the moment, with thousands of fans buying for $4,500 tickets to watch her play. Let's look at what happens when other WNBA stars take the court. The contrast isn't just unexpected, it's shocking.
Asia Wilson, is anybody paying $4,500 to get into one of your Angel Reese? Inquiring minds want to know. Is anybody paying that kind of money to get in your games?
Consider this for a moment. Even though the Washington Mystics claim to have sold out all of their home games last season, they still finished third to last in the league in terms of attendance. Let's not forget that they are playing in one of the smallest venues in professional sports and are still near the bottom of the attendance chart. The arena they play in has a capacity of just 4,200, which is smaller than many high school gymnasiums across America.
$57 is the lowest one available through Vivid Seats. Ticket City, all right? Ticket City, I sorted this by lowest to start. $617. Well, let me just scroll down here. The highest one, also sideline B, $457. Damn. That's crazy. So we got two places. So anywhere from $557 to $4,000, basically, let's just call it $4,500 to $4,500 for a preseason game. What are we talking about here? Asia Wilson, is anybody paying $4,500 to get into one of your Angel Reese? Inquiring minds want to know. Is anybody paying that kind of money to get in your games? I don't believe that's happening. So this got announced. Man, the Mystics owner is not afraid of money. Now, is she? Oh, no. No comment. Nothing to see here. Please move along. Indiana Fever 2025 road games at Mystics moved to Baltimore. All right. Indiana Fever's May 28th and September 7th road games at the Washington Mystics, originally scheduled to be played at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., has been moved to the CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore. It was announced today. So, I did a little research. I was like, oh, I wonder what the differences are here, right? Here we go. This is the difference. The Mystics play in an Entertainment and Sports Arena, which has a capacity of 4,200. The team sold out all of its home games last year, but was still third to last in the league's attendance. There's an appetite in D.C. for more Mystics, even if the team is poised for a rebuild.
Yet they're not alone. The Atlanta Dream are in a similar predicament. These are venues that could fit inside a typical Walmart with space left over, not Madison Square Garden, which can only hold 3,800 seats. When they proudly announce sellouts, they're talking about a crowd that would get lost in the same arena that Clark just filled 3 times over.
4,200 is third to last. This is the same shit that the Atlanta Dream pull, all right? Because they sell out all their home games with a capacity of like I don't know, 3,800 fans, and then they brag about it. And you're like, but that's not any fans? Question mark? By the way, they have to move their games for Caitlin Clark too.
This is where things start to get really interesting. Have you noticed that nobody is paying nearly $1,500 to see Angel Reese or IA Wilson play preseason game, regular season games, even playoff games? These are real stars with great talent, but they aren't producing even a small portion of the economic earthquake Clark is causing.
We can all be so fortunate to be living in a time of such change, of such big, enigmatic, generational talent existing in a time that we are alive. At least that's how I feel.
This is more than simply a popularity contest. It's bringing to light a troubling reality about the WNBA that team owners and veterans are making a valiant effort to deny. Clark is a one-woman economic revolution pushing everyone to face the realities of star power in women's basketball, not just another rookie entering the league.
Let's say you charge $30,000 a ticket, you could sell it at $80,000. Like, if there's any way of putting Caitlin Clark's game in like the middle of a football field, yeah, not that many people are going to be able to see it, but like, it's the same with boxing in a football stadium, and people still do it. So why not?
When established WNBA teams find it difficult to fill venues ACC quarter that size, while Clark sells out 15,000 seats faster than you can say, generational talent, it sends a message that cannot be ignored. The numbers aren't just marginally different, they're in entirely different universes. It's like comparing a local lemonade stand to the global distribution network of Coca-Cola.
I was a fan of the WNBA beforehand, and I do love the WNBA. I do love other teams. I do love other players, but Caitlin Clark playing in Iowa really changed my view on looking at basketball, and what that girl did and what she is doing now is something that I have never seen in the game, and I cannot look away from.
Even though they publicly attempt to maintain the all our stars are equal narrative, the league and insiders are frantically trying to take advantage of this phenomenon behind closed doors. Their words say one thing, but their actions, moving games to venues 3 times larger when Clark visits town, tell the true story.
I did a little exploration, and we'll get to the Mystics having to move their games, and that old battle axe owner of hers, of the Mystics, having to eat her words. Remember, they should have put everybody on the Time magazine cover. Y'all, the whole WNBA.
Nobody's actions speak louder than the Washington Mystics owners, who publicly dismissed Caitlin Clark's star power before scrambling for a venue 3 times larger just to capitalize on her game. You know what they say about people who talk out of their mouths? Well, remember how their actions tell the real story.
Well, you made sure you moved that game so you could fit more people in there. That's one thing.
Let's go back in time for a moment. This is identical. The owner of the Mystics essentially implied that Clark wasn't deserving of the Time magazine cover, suggesting that the WNBA as a whole, not just one rookie, should receive the attention. The message was obvious. Clark is merely one of the league's many talented female players. She is not unique.
So this got announced. Man, the Mystics owner is not afraid of money. Now, is she? Oh, no, no comment. Nothing to see here. Please move along. Indiana Fever 2025 road games at Mystics moved to Baltimore.
You heard correctly. The Mystics abruptly announced that they were packing up and moving their May 28th and September 7th games against Indiana from their home in Washington, D.C. to a far larger venue in Baltimore, completely disregarding the idea that all players should be treated equally.
Indiana Fever's May 28th and September 7th road games at the Washington Mystics, originally scheduled to be played at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., has been moved to the CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore. It was announced today.
This isn't just any venue change. It's a huge arena upgrade that explains everything you need to know about Clark's appeal. We're talking about moving their comfortable 4,200-seat sports and entertainment arena to the CFG Bank Arena, which can accommodate 14,000 people. Do the maths with me. That's a 3-fold increase in capacity for Caitlin Clark events.
So the new arena right here, 14,000. They literally had to raise the capacity by 9,800 seats for the Indiana Fever, both of them. And guess what? Those games, they'll sell out too.
Mystics management has been completely silent about this choice, which is what makes it so intriguing. There was no news conference to explain why they suddenly needed 9,800,100 more seats for these two particular games. No admission that they might have been entirely mistaken regarding Clark's influence.
Clark taking the court again against the Brazilian national team in a preseason game. That's May 4th. Now, it was my understanding that she was going to fall, right? People weren't going to support her. Yeah, that is not happening.
When the Mystics were faced with the decision of whether to stick to their Clark isn't special narrative or make a business decision that goes against everything they've said publicly, they realized that by staying at their regular venue, they would be leaving millions on the table. The financial calculations here are clear to everyone.
But there's obviously still a hell of a lot of fire around this young lady playing basketball. I know that. Because they don't move you to 10,000 more seats unless you can pack them in. Your tickets don't sell for $4,500 unless you can draw it.
And the league as a whole acknowledges that Clark is doing precisely what her supporters predicted she would do, revolutionizing the economics of women's basketball overnight. It's not just Washington making these changes, as you can see other teams rushing to find larger venues when the Fever hits town.
Basically, the reason why it's there is like, look, it's Caitlin Clark playing under the jersey she got retired. Like, it's really a situation where you're just like, okay, yeah, Caitlin Clark got the jersey retired, even though it'd be better in the football stadium. Like, you could pack out a football stadium again just to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. You could pack out 50k. You could, whatever the record is for a women's basketball game, you could set it to watch Caitlin Clark play.
The promise of her performance alone is sufficient to justify these venue modifications. Imagine what would happen if she began to play 30-0 games with her trademark logo. They might have to start renting out football venues.
We're second season, we're right back where we were last year. All right, the season's on the horizon. Look, we're less than 3 months now. All right, we're 11 weeks away, basically.
What about the rumors that Caitlin Clark's popularity is declining? The receipts, however, paint a different picture. Her first training video with Coach Stephanie White received 1 million views in a matter of hours, days, and weeks, and this coincides with the league's outrageous ticket costs and location changes.
It's a big situation again, like Caitlin Clark selling out Iowa, sold out a preseason game. People saying it sold out in 40 minutes. This is within 20 minutes. Like, obviously, you couldn't get onto the damn website. It's sold out. You could have been trying to refreshing the page and not got tickets. Most of the time, it officially sold out in 40 minutes, but like realistically, it almost crashed the website.
This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about a cultural phenomenon that's rewriting the economic playbook for women's sports in real time. If this is what she's generating for a preseason game, just think of what happens when the season is in full swing. The revolution isn't coming. It's already here, and her name is on the marquee. The WNBA is literally restructuring itself around one player who hasn't even set foot on the professional court yet. Recall how critics claimed she was overhyped, and now they're rushing to book bigger arenas to capture a fraction of her drawing power.